a young individual recounted a tale of what he considered to be his own experience of a psychic conversion. He had a near-death experience, and when he awoke, he suddenly knew there was a divine presence in the world, and he was meant to focus on that, rather than the career he had been preparing for. He soon left college and began a journey of self-discovery, taking up the study of Raja Yoga and Tibetan Yoga, attempting to practice on his own, and deepening his understanding of the spiritual nature of existence. One day he was with some friends and acquaintances in Munich, Germany, and wound up going with them to one of the famous beer halls in that city. He sat there feeling totally isolated from those around him and penned a poem on a napkin while they were drinking, singing, and carousing generally. He recognized at that moment that he saw life totally differently than those around him. It is frequently said that day for the ordinary person is night for the yogi, and vice versa. This individual's experience illustrates this shift in perspective. It is basically a totally different standpoint that directs and guides the thoughts, emotions, perceptions, and deeper understanding. Most people live in the surface personality, the ego self, and they perceive, evaluate, judge, and act from that viewpoint. When someone is called to take up the spiritual life, the standpoint shifts inward to the psychic being, and the focus turns towards the need to realize the oneness with the divine and carry out the divine intention in the manifestation. Sri Aurobindo writes, quote, "The psychic being is always there, but is not felt because it is covered up by the mind and vital. When it is no longer covered up, it is then said to be awake. When it is awake, it begins to take hold of the reset of the being, to influence it and change it, so that all may become the true expression of the inner soul. It is this change that is called the inner conversion. There can be no conversion without the awakening of the psychic being. The conversion which keeps the consciousness turned towards the light and makes the right attitude spontaneous and natural and abiding, and rejection also spontaneous, is the psychic conversion. That is to say, man usually lives in his vital, and the body is the instrument, and the mind its counselor and minister, except for the few mental men who live mostly for the things of the mind, but even they are in subjection to the vital in their ordinary movements. The spiritual conversion begins when the soul begins to insist on a deeper life, and is complete when the psychic being becomes the basis or the leader of the consciousness, and mind and vital and body are led by it and obey it." End quote. Reference: Sri Aurobindo and the Mother, The Psychic Being, Soul, Its Nature, Mission, and Evolution. Section 4, The Psychic Being and Sadhana, pages 105 to 106.